Hello guys, oh man, are we living in a freaking awesome age. Okay, so I always go on the net, trying to investigate, trying to educate myself on new stuff, new things that are coming out, new technology that are coming out, and all of that stuff. Mostly to educate myself and let you guys know what's the new hottest stuff that's coming out. And I gotta tell you, I was freaking blown away from what I saw that I just had to share this with you guys. It's incredible, and I know some of you guys are going to say it's overkill, but it's just out of this world. So get this, guys. They're actually releasing SD Express cards, okay? SD Express cards that are going to have transfer rates, now get this, of almost 1 gigabyte transfer rates. Okay, now this is obviously due to like a lot of things that that's going on, really. But it's gonna pretty much make the SSDs, the ones that are SATA, they're gonna pretty much make those obsolete. So we're gonna actually probably see computers soon, like laptops, that are gonna be using these little micro mini chips or whatever, the SD cards, which is gonna be such a freaking treat to see. Because like I am so wowed. I mean, at 1 gigabyte transfer rates is just incredible. Now I know it's due to the PCI Express and the NVMe technology, the protocol that is being released. Because of that, it's actually able to transfer at that incredible. Guys, oh man, are we living in a freaking awesome age. Okay, so I always go on the net, trying to investigate, trying to educate myself on new stuff, new things that are coming out, new technology that are coming out, and all of that stuff. Mostly to educate myself and let you guys know what's the new hottest stuff that's coming out. And I gotta tell you, I was freaking blown away from what I saw that I just had to share this with you guys. It's incredible, and I know some of you guys are going to say it's overkill, but it's just out of this world. So get this, guys. They're actually releasing SD Express cards, okay? SD Express cards that are going to have transfer rates, now get this, of almost 1 gigabyte transfer rates. Okay, now this is obviously due to like a lot of things that that's going on, really. But it's gonna pretty much make the SSDs, the ones that are SATA, they're gonna pretty much make those obsolete. So we're gonna actually probably see computers soon, like laptops, that are gonna be using these little micro mini chips or whatever, the SD cards, which is gonna be such a freaking treat to see. Because like I am so wowed. I mean, at 1 gigabyte transfer rates is just incredible. Now I know it's due to the PCI Express and the NVMe technology, the protocol that is being released. Because of that, it's actually able to transfer at that incredible rate. So I mean, it's going faster than SATA at this point, which is freaking remarkable. Now, what the hell does that mean? Well, picture this. All the time, even when I use with my with my cameras, for example, you use an SSD card, let's say just for argument's sake, with the Blackmagic production camera. The larger the SSD card is, the slower it is. Okay, really, this is how it works. When I was filming with my Blackmagic camera on, let's say, 256, for example, SSD, it would actually operate more fluent than, let's say, a 512, much faster than a 512. Even though they're at the same speed, it's just, I think, because of the size of it, it just happens to slow down. But with a gigabyte, that's just freaking insane. And now they're able to build this. Now, guess this is the beauty right here, what I'm about to tell you. They're about to build it to 100, which they stated, 128 terabytes. Could you imagine 128 terabytes? It's probably the only card you'll ever need to buy ever. Now, I know what you guys are going to say. You're going to say, well, Lior, it's overkill. Why on earth would we need 128? And not discussing price. Of course, the price is probably going to be murderous. But 128 terabytes is basically 32 times larger than any average consumer SSD drive out there. And you guys are saying it's overkill, I know. But now think about this. Today we have cameras that can shoot at 8K resolution. Okay? On 4K resolution, shooting on RAW, I have over 12 hard drives on the computer that I built. Every Sunday I'm doing a mini-series teaching you guys how to build a gaming computer on the cheap. So I'm reviewing parts. So I have about a ton of hard drives, and they fill up like this. When I'm filming a movie, a commercial, any type of thing, these hard drives fill really, really, really quick when you shoot at 4K RAW. Now, when you use things like 6K or 8K images, and of course, probably one day we're going to have 12K images when these things go, you know, mainstream, you're going to want to have something that has that kind of capacity. Personally, myself, I'd be really scared if I didn't have some kind of backup, because if that card goes bad, and, you know, that's what we tend to do as human beings when we have, you know, in the technology world, the bigger the hard drives are, the more we forget to back up our shit. We just keep storing it. But what we don't realize is when it goes bad, we lose more information than we can ever think of. And that kind of sucks. But with that kind of crap, you'd be able to shoot any of your movies. With cameras going higher, HDR right now being, you know, pretty much going into mainstream. All of, you know, 4K resolution pretty much being a standard very soon. All of these things are incredible, especially when you have cell phones right now that are shooting at 4K and you want it to go higher and you know, have a higher bit rate also. You'd be able to do that. So it's not that far-fetched to want 128 terabytes, okay? And MP3 players and stuff like that, you might want to put, I don't know how much you're going to need. But all of these things that are happening right now with 4K media and all this stuff, 8K cameras, it fits in beautifully. Now, when is this going to be released? They haven't announced that. SD has not announced it at all, but they said that they have it. They did it. They achieved it. How much is it going to cost? Probably a shit ton of money. Okay, so most likely it's going to be a crap ton of money, but could you imagine what something like that would do for the next Nintendo Switch that'll come out? An actual onboard memory of 128 terabytes. Now, they're not going to do that because obviously they're going to charge like a $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $10,000 for a Nintendo Switch. That's not going to happen. But once this thing becomes a little bit more mainstream, maybe not 128. How about seeing a terabyte? How about seeing 2 terabytes of internal storage on a Nintendo Switch without the external storage? How cool would that be? And I'm sure that'll be cheap if 128's out there on terabytes. So to have even 5 terabytes would be an amazing feat right there for all of us. I think Nintendo would probably be able to push their graphic limitations even further using the new, you know, Tegra chips that they're working on right now, the Tegra 2, or God knows what, probably Tegra 3 they'll come out with, who the hell knows. But the thing is, they're working on making things, but the graphics itself would be even better, and it probably would run better, and we would be able to have larger games, you know, and all of these cool things. I mean, this thing really opens up a freaking world that is incredible. Let me know what you think down below. I'm just curious to know what you guys think. I mean, if, let's say, you know, are you excited about these times for this, what's coming out? And I urge you guys to actually read more about this. I'm giving you just the lining over here, but they're going to tell you, you know, you're going to read about it. There's so much information of things that it could be used for and all of that, but it's just so amazing the times we're living in that I can't wait for 128 terabytes to be mainstream. You know, when people are like, oh, I just got 128. I got 512 terabytes. You know, I remember when I first got my first computer, Packard Bell, before I learned how to build computers, I was young. I had a Packard Bell computer. My mom bought it for me. I'll never forget that. One of the most exciting days of my life. And they had, like, you know, no gigahertz. It was all megahertz. Like, forgot even what it was, but it was like, I think it was, what was it? I think it was 128 megabytes in memory. Okay, then it became gigabytes. Okay, and so it's just amazing how technology is moving forward. And to see this, and hopefully one day that'll be like how I had the computer, and then years later how it jumped like that. Hopefully one day this will be a medium, and we'll be able to store a bunch of crap and not have to ever worry about storage again. Now, you think probably we would never have to worry about it, but by that time, I'm sure they're going to have like a 12K, 20K camera shooting, and even though it's it's crap to shoot at that range, and really when you're shooting at 8K, it's more for cropping because your eyes really can't pick up that kind of resolution. But just like that, the megapixel wars, they're gonna have a war with that thing as well, and it's just so comforting to know that you would have full control. Like, on a 8K, when you shoot on it, I mean, I shoot on 4K when I put it, or 6K, and put it into